Sometimes life don't break you. It introduces you to the version of yourself God always knew was there. Yeah. Golden.
Than the world I know. Had a pocket full of faith and a heart full of scars. Still thanking God while wishing on stars. Mama said, baby, keep your head held high. Even when you're learning how to say goodbye. People see the smile, never see the tears. Never count the prayers, never count the years. I learned pain can build a palace if your spirit keeps its balance. Lost some people, lost some sleep, found a version of me the hurt couldn't keep it. Yeah, keep going. Don't stop, don't stop. God got me. I hear you. Every closed door made another hallway. Every broken heart made another story. Every setback was preparing glory. I wasn't buried, I was planning. Let's go. I'm gonna find my happy again, even if I gotta cry before I grin. They couldn't steal what heaven put within. I keep rising again, again, again. Yeah. Find your peace, find your life, find your life. Keep believing you'll be alright.
Sometimes healing don't look pretty. Sometimes grace gets real gritty. Sometimes fake sounds like silence. Choosing love over violence. Every mountain made me stronger. Every season lasted longer. But somehow I kept breathing even when I stopped believing. See, the mirror started changing. Not because my face was different. My soul finally caught up with what God already envisioned. You don't need permission to become who you were born to be. That's freedom. No fear, keep walking. Who told you you were too broken? Who convinced you your story was over? Who said your value depended on somebody else's opinion? No, no, no. You're still chosen. You're still worthy. You're still breathing. That means he isn't finished. Hands up, lift your head. Hope ain't dead. Hope ain't dead. Love yourself, heal yourself, trust yourself. God ain't left. I wear my scars like medals now. No more hiding, no more settling now. Every chapter built another queen. Every valley made my vision clean. I'm not running from yesterday. I'm thinking it without those stones. I never know how strong the roots could get. Now I'm planting seeds instead of pain. Teaching hearts how to love again. Maybe that's what purpose is. Turning your survival into somebody else's heart. I'm gonna find my happy again. No more living for somebody else's lens. Every sunrise is another chance to begin. I'm still standing, I'm still believing, I'm still here, still dreaming, still grateful, still growing again. Again, again, again. Your beginning doesn't decide your ending. Your pain doesn't erase your purpose. Your losses don't cancel your future. If you're still here, there's still joy waiting for you.
dreams felt bigger than the world I know. Had a pocket full of faith and a heart full of scars. Still thanking God while wishing on stars. Mama said, baby, keep your head held high. Even when you're learning how to say goodbye. People see the smile, never see the tears. Never count the prayers, never count the years. I learned pain can build a palace if your spirit keeps its balance. Lost some people, lost some sleep. Found a version of me the hurt I couldn't keep. Yeah, ad libs. Keep going, don't stop. God got me, I hear you. Every closed door made another hallway. Every broken heart made another story. Every setback was preparing glory. I wasn't buried, I was playing. Let's go. I'm gonna find my happy again, even if I gotta cry before I grin. They couldn't steal what heaven put within. I keep rising again, 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 again. Find your peace, find your light, keep believing. You'll be alright. Sometimes healing don't look pretty. Sometimes grace gets real gritty. Sometimes faith sounds waste. Sometimes healing. You'll be alright. Sometimes lay in bed. Sometimes life gon' break you.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl Golden, and we are back with another live, y'all. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day in whatever respectful time zone you're in. Happy Wednesday. It is about 8:11 p.m. here, y'all, so a little bit later than usual yet again. And we'll get back on track, y'all. But yeah, we're here this evening. The sun has gone down. It was up earlier, but I am still in a good mood, even though the sun went down. Actually, I'm in a better mood because, child, it was hot today. It was about 100 degrees. And y'all know I don't like being out in the heat like that. So it's real cool and nice and chill right now. And I wanted to come on, y'all, and, do how we typically do, share a great interview and conversation with you guys together. And we talk through it as we go. And of course, per usual, I have my lovely co-host Imani here with me. So Imani girl, what's up? How you doing? What time is it there for you? How's the weather? How you feeling?
Well, it's the early hours of the morning here, but I had my day was upside down today because I had to do some admin and speak to some different people on different time zones. So it's now 1:15 in the morning here, and I'm wide awake.
Oh my God, I got you up so late, girl. But
No, no,
we
no.
be
It's because I had a late. I woke up late because I had to speak to people in the US, and I had to speak to people in different time zones. So my day was kind of upside down today. So yeah, but I'm good.
yeah,
I'm good.
okay. That's good to hear. I'm glad you're doing well. Um, And yeah, like those busy days be crazy. And it is, different when you got to deal with people outside of the time zone in other countries and stuff like that. So, Well, yeah, it was a good day here. It was hot all day, like 100 degrees hot all day. We wasn't outside much, honestly. But I did see, my boo, and it was just me and mom and JJ doing what we do, doing things around the house, playing stuff like that. But yeah, I came across this great video, y'all. It's an excellent conversation. We'll get into that in a minute. But before we do, Imani, would you like to go ahead and kick it off with a little bit of housekeeping? And I think you have something that you want to share as well.
Yeah, I mean, today I'm going to piggyback off something that Ralph was talking about the other day. Because I watched a couple of the panels where he was with Maggie and on his own show. And if you want to hear more about this, if you want to hear more of the in depth teachings about this stuff, you should go over and watch Ralph the Wise. I'm just piggybacking off something he was saying. Given all the wahala that I hear going on around the traps, um, people are really, 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 they have to spin some narratives. But I find them amusing because we'll deal with this tomorrow in housekeeping because they seem to think that labels and weaponizing things can make me move and can make you move, and it's not really working, and it's a sign of desperation, unfortunately, and I feel sorry for them. But what this is about. I was listening to a video and I kind of did a brief summary of it. It's about recognizing toxic people and refusing their games. Basically, toxic people feed on reactions rather than resolution. Manipulators often arrive appearing kind, helpful, and trustworthy. Gaslighting causes victims to question their own memories and their reality. Anger often benefits manipulators because it keeps you emotionally engaged. Quiet clarity is far more powerful than emotional confrontation. Um, this is really about all the games that are being played around the trap. You got people coming up to trigger people unnecessarily, to, question sexuality, question looks, to make people think that they need to look at themselves. When really, these people need to hold a mirror to themselves and wonder, why are you trawling around the traps, trying to make people feel bad? It's because you feel bad. But anyway, I'll continue. Loving someone should never require sacrificing your mental health. Stop over explaining yourself. No is a complete sentence. Distance is sometimes the healthiest response. Growth often offends those who benefited from your silence. Judge people by consistent behavior, not emotional apologies. Your body often detects danger before your mind fully understands it. Constant exhaustion after interactions is itself valuable information. Boundaries expose manipulations. Sometimes walking away quietly is stronger than winning an argument. Basically, toxic personalities operate through manipulation, guilt, confusion, and emotional control. Rather than encouraging confrontation, emotional distance, healthy boundaries, and refusing to participate in endless arguments are the smartest ways to protect yourself. The focus is on recognizing patterns instead of excuses and understanding that peace is far more valuable than proving a point. And then this video went on to say, healing often changes your relationships because as people develop confidence and establish healthier boundaries, those who previously benefited from unlimited access frequently react negatively. Now, when you think about this, Golden, you left Nick Jane, and whoever else is in their merry band of clowns about a year ago. And they can't seem to understand that you want to move on. They can't let whatever it is, whatever problems they have, go. They have spent 6 months talking about you, Martha, everybody, and now they want to cry victim and use other things. But that's their problem. It's not yours, it's theirs. You got to protect your emotional energy. We all have to protect our emotional energy because these demons are running around really, really busy because they are unhappy with themselves. You got to recognize there are limits to what we need to take. We all have to recognize we don't need to accept this behavior. This behavior is about them and their traumas and whatever else is going on in their sad, sorry lives. And so understand that healthy relationships adapt while unhealthy ones resist change. Walking away is sometimes wisdom. Walking away from unhealthy relationships is not weakness, it's wisdom. Remaining in destructive situations slowly erodes confidence, identity, and emotional well being. Choosing peace, honoring personal limits, and accepting that some people will never understand your decision ultimately leads to a healthier relationships with other people and greater self-respect. Basically, leave them mud wrestling right where they are, because that's what I decide to do. That's why I don't respond to their foolishness. However, we'll have an interesting housekeeping tomorrow because we don't need that demonic energy around us. We don't need to be pointing fingers and looking at other people's behaviors. We can only control how we behave. Let them control how they behave and operate in the way they want to operate because it's not what we're about. We're about peace, unity, happiness. They're about dragging toxic history, raking up old bones, and pointing their fingers at people because they don't want to look at themselves. And that's all I've got to say for this opening message. And you've probably got a couple of things to add, but anybody who wants to know, because I refuse to go to bed with their negativity in my soul. I'm not going to think about some of the crap that I heard yesterday. It doesn't belong to me. It belongs to them. I don't know if you want to add to this, but that is what I've got to say as my opening message. And if you want to hear more about this, as I said, go and listen to Ralph. He teaches it much better than I do. And also, I'll give the channel shout outs at the end. But over to you, Golden.
Well done per usual, well spoken per usual. And again, I will refrain from my housekeeping statements until tomorrow's live. And I will have some things that I'll touch on when we get into that. But one of the things that I want to do is get into this video because I do think as we play some of this content and watch it together, there are a lot of conversations and discussions within this video that kind of really correlate with a lot of things that we are dealing with right now and a lot of experiences that we all probably have been through in our life. And it's very open and it's very honest and it's very heartfelt. And so I do like to tap into that. But, the only thing that I can say is I think, we can do a better job of being kinder to one another, loving one another, and take accountability for our stuff. And so a lot of people have not yet mastered that or are comfortable with that. And it's something that I don't know if people have seen me around or have heard me around that I'm able to do. I'll take accountability for my stuff and I'll apologize if I need to. And I'll be very real about sometimes I'm not the best version of myself. And I can take account for that. And there's just some people that won't. And there's weirdo things that happen on YouTube. So, that's about it. That's all I really got for that. I have some ending messages. some really, really heartfelt words that I'd like to share. But I want to do that at the end of the live because I know people have been waiting, and I know, girl, it's late there for you. So I wanted to just go ahead and get into the content and listen to another conversation from another person who is excellent. So let me go ahead and give y'all a synopsis of what we'll be listening to. Me and Imani are going to be diving into an incredibly powerful, soul-stirring interview from the Happy with Tammi Mac podcast on the Inflection Network. So shout out to the Inflection Network and Tammi Mac. If you have not checked out their platform, you really should. She has a lot of great interviews over there of all kinds, not even just with celebrities, a lot with politics as well. So host Tammi Mac recently sat down with R&B royalty, like R&B royalty, Miss Kelly Price herself, for an episode titled Kelly Price Opens Up, From the Projects to Purpose, and Finding Happy Again. This wasn't just a celebrity gossip. This was a masterclass in transparency, resilience, and reclaiming your joy after the storm. Kelly gets radically honest about growing up in New York. Shout out to New York, y'all. In the projects, navigating poverty, surviving devastating losses during the pandemic, and building a foundation that allowed her to bounce back with grace. So on this live, we'll be unpacking the deeper lessons behind the headlines, standing firmly in truth, integrity, and unity vibes. So let's talk about a little bit what it truly means to find your happy again. Excuse me, y'all. Now, we're going to get into this video. Y'all give me just a few seconds. I got to get everything set up here on the StreamYard. Y'all know how that works. We'll watch it together. We'll pause as we go. You know, per usual, we meet you in the chat, and then we'll do commentary and song breaks in between. So let's go ahead and get this popped up real quick. Let me see, y'all. Okay, I can take this one down. Y'all bear with me. All right. So let's go ahead and get this started. We'll meet y'all over in the chat, and y'all let me know what y'all think.
Kelly Price. Kelly! How the hell can I be happy with Tammi Mac? You better give me some of them notes, girl. Give me some of them notes.
Wait, okay. I have to tell you this story.
Okay.
I said, when you hit me, and I said, okay, yes, I'm coming. I'm going to do it. So, do you remember what happened the first day we met?
No, what
You
happened?
don't remember what happened the first day we met?
No, what?
Okay, so you were interviewing me on KJLA. I was out here. I was doing promo for Soul for Woman.
Yep, Soul
and
for Woman.
we had all these ladies calling in, and they just kept going. Like, they were just supposed to be saying, we love the song, whatever the case may be.
Right.
And it was not my first time in California. I had been out here with a lot of the other artists that I'd worked with.
Right.
But it was my first time being out here as an artist for myself.
Right.
And clearly, I might know California. I had family out here in California, but like I didn't know California radio.
Right.
And it was your show. You know your audience, right?
Yeah,
so
they're a little.
they just and baby, they was doing their thing that day, right? So it just kept, every call just kept getting longer and longer and longer and longer. And then this lady, she wanted to go into all of this and this blah 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 and this woo woo woo. And you was like, all right, okay, all right. Y'all, we're gonna cut her. Lord Jesus, this lady got problems. She got issues.
That's
like what you
me.
said, right?
I said, all right.
I looked over at my radio rep. I said, the radio said that the lady, she was just trying to get it off her chest. me not knowing, right? I'm feeling all soft-hearted and everything. She said the lady got issues. Why would she do that? Why would she do that to her? This lady Tammi Mac got issues. And you heard me. You said, did you just say that I got issues?
I know my listeners. I know the ones
I
that's
swear to
crazy.
God.
I know the ones that's
I swear to God. You said, did you just say that I got issues, Kelly Price? Kelly Price, did you just say that I got issues? And I did like this.
Well, I'm glad we good then, girl.
No, we good, right? And you said, no, I ain't got no issues, Kelly Price. You got issues.
Oh, no.
No, I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God. I was like,
No way, Kelly.
oh my God. Oh, I was so green.
I think that's somebody else. Was
No,
that me?
I swear to God, you were the first person I had ever interviewed with out here in California, in Los Angeles. I swear to God. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I was just so green. I was so green.
But I have to say, though, I will say this. I don't. Sometimes I do get out of line.
Listen,
I ain't gonna lie.
No,
but
I knew you didn't remember.
I did not remember that.
I knew you didn't remember.
But I do know whenever that was, after that,
yes,
every time there was a Kelly Price issue and I called you, you was like, put me on the radio. We about to clear it up.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Every single time.
I
loved that about you. I love that about you because, again, you had, and then I came from New York. It was a different era of radio.
Right, yeah.
And I'm not here to talk about anybody. There's a lot going on with whatever. It was a different era of radio. And you did have people on the radio who were messy and they were not concerned with whether or not they were getting was truth.
Right.
It just needed to be sensational.
Yeah.
Or sensationalized. And so I held such high regard for you.
Oh, thank you for that.
Because it was just going to be what it was going to be. And if what I heard was true, you still gave people the opportunity to hear it from me.
Yeah.
So that they could hear the true truth of it.
Yeah.
And how A got to Z. Because a lot of times people will they'll start playing the replay.
Oh, yeah.
At E.
And there was a whole A
and
through
there was,
E
yeah,
first,
there
and
was,
there was a whole F through Z at the end.
And they never
Right.
show you that.
Right.
They just show you the part of it that they want you to see.
Yeah, you're right.
And so I always held you in high regard for that.
So, but I do thank you for taking the phone calls and saying, you know what,
Yes.
Tammi, put me on the radio. Let me clear whatever it is up that's going on.
I
and
think
you
that's the
always
New York.
did that.
That's the New York girl in me.
Yeah.
Because I always
thought you were from the South all this time.
Well, you thought I was from the South because I literally was so up underneath my grandparents. And even though my grandparents were in New York and that's where they landed and raised their family, my grandfather was from Arkansas. My grandmother was from Texas.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was honed by the South.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, and then ended up living in Atlanta for so many years.
We like to start the show with asking what mood you're in. So what's your mood today?
You know what? Even on my worst day, I try to find a reason to position myself from an attitude of gratitude.
Okay. So gratitude.
That's the honest to God truth. Because I know, people can think they know who I am.
Right.
But I know who I am. And I know where I came from. And I know, I was always the fat kid. But the weirdest thing about always being the fat kid is that I didn't eat every day because we didn't always have food. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I grew up in coal behind New York in the 70s. And didn't always have the best of clothes to wear. Wore a lot of secondhand clothing, hand-me-down clothing that we went to places where they gave clothes away to people. And whether they were nice or in good condition or not, we were taught, say thank you and be grateful.
See, that's South right there.
Because that's exactly what that is.
Gratitude,
absolutely.
Yeah. When you said that you know who you are, I was just watching a video of your friend, Whitney Houston.
Yes.
And she said in the interview, I know who I am.
I know who I am.
And you say you know who you are. Who is Kelly Price?
Kelly Price is, I literally am a girl from New York, raised in church, raised in the projects, raised by some amazing human beings that I lost in COVID. My grandparents. My dad was from one side of the tracks. Technically, my mom was from another side of the tracks. My mom was a preacher's kid. My dad was a street dude.
Really?
Yeah.
And they got together.
But he couldn't date my mom being from the street, so he started coming to church. And got saved.
Oh, stop it. Okay, that's a good woman. That's what they call in the Bible, a virtuous woman.
He was trying to get them draws.
Like, call it what it is.
Let's just go to call it what it is. He's trying to get them draws.
So what color are you today? If you had to be a color, what color today?
Oh, gosh. There's so many. My favorite color is purple, right?
Okay.
And I believe that purple represents royalty.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe we come from royalty.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'm purple every day, but in this moment, this yellow is giving me everything.
It's giving
me bright.
It's giving light.
It's giving me sunshine. It's giving me happy. It's giving me, and life is just too short to dwell in, and I'm not saying don't acknowledge the things that happen.
Right.
Like, that's not healthy either. But do your best. And if that means you need to go talk to somebody, if it means you need to bring your tribe or your village around you, or if your village ain't villaging, or if you need to change villages,
change your village. Yeah.
Do what you have to do, because in the grand scheme of things, the world has been here for billions of years. If we're lucky, if we are blessed enough, we get 100.
If we are blessed, not many make it,
and and most don't make it.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme of things, we don't get a lot of time on this earth.
Yeah.
And so if just try your best. It's not going to always be easy. Happiness is a choice.
Yeah. So I want to ask you,
yes,
what has been one of the worst moments of your life?
Oh, believe it or not, I join the three items together of losing my baby sister and losing my grandparents. I lost my baby sister. My baby sister became addicted to drugs when she was very young. And when I say very young, I mean, we were living in the projects, we were living in New York.
You mean like 10, 12 or 16, 17?
No. She was very young, like just hitting into her double digits. And she hit it very well.
Wait, when you say double digits, you're saying 11 years old, or you're saying older than that?
No, I'm saying like 11, 12, like she was very young.
Okay.
She was very young, but she hit it extremely well. She hit it extremely well.
Really?
And we didn't know that she was, using, because again, she hit it very well. She did manage to come off, but she ended up, starting to have babies early. Like I had a child in my teens. She and I had our first child within months of each other, within 1 month of each other. And I was 19 when I gave birth to my first child, and she was 14.
Right.
When she gave birth.
How does that happen to a preacher's kid?
That happens when you are looking for love, when you're trying to find something that just belongs to you.
Oh, yeah.
Because I ended up marrying my children's father, who was also a preacher's kid.
So y'all had something in common.
We had that in common. We were taught back then, don't be unequally yoked, but they were not, they were unclear really back then with what that meant, because being
all right, y'all, so we're going to pause it right there for a quick commentary break. Wow, so much said in just like the first basically 12 minutes, but so many great things that they were talking about within the conversation that we talk about almost every day over here, and we've been seeing and experiencing, throughout this platform and life, period. But Imani, I'll let you go ahead and take the lead on this, and then I'll give some of my thoughts after you're done.
Yeah, it's a good start, great interview. Just, obviously Kelly Price had her R&B heyday, but if anybody wants to hear a great gospel song by Kelly Price, she's got lots. There's a one I listen to all the time is called Healing, a really, really, really great track. Yeah, and go and search that if you've never heard it. It's a really, really good track, puts you in the mood to face whatever it is that you may have or traumas that you may have in your life. But moving on to this interview, she's establishing herself really as someone whose success has never erased her humility. She talks about how truth, gratitude, and faith, and remembering where she came from, is the foundation that helped her to navigate fame and personal challenges. Her first radio interview apparently was with Tammy, so that was quite funny. She also talks about why she always chose to address rumors rather than allowing the speculation to spread. Now that's very topical at the moment. Um, she did, and she talks about growing up in poverty and becoming, one of the most respected gospel and R&B voices. And she says gratitude became her mindset regardless of her success or her hardship. And her church upbringing shaped her values while she still remained grounded despite her fame. And she's really proud of her family's roots and the influence both her parents and her grandparents have had on her. And she says happiness is ultimately a conscious choice. And it really is a conscious choice. Despite whatever else is going on, you can choose to be happy or you can choose not to. Sometimes it's more difficult in difficult situations, but for most of us, we can choose to be happy rather than be sad about things we can't change. Yeah, I think that was a great start. And that's what I got from that.
I agree, Monty. I think that's a powerful lesson for us to learn. And it sometimes takes, years of wisdom, years of life, and things of that nature to learn that that is a choice. A lot of time you feel like it's not because you get caught up being in the emotion that you're feeling at that time, and you don't feel like you can turn it off or you can change it or you don't have the tools or know how to. But once you navigate life enough and you get more of a power, excuse me, a power and a control over your emotions, you can learn that happiness is a choice based on you. You choose how you are going to exude your emotions towards others, towards yourself, and for yourself, and all of that. However, another thing that I love as well, and I wanted to talk about just a tad bit, and we'll get right back into the content. Shout out to New York, okay? Anybody from New York out there, whatever, what's up? How you doing? We're gonna do our shout outs at the end, but I know Mel's World is from New York. There's a couple people on the platform is from New York, so shout out to y'all. But one of the things that she was saying, as far as her upbringing or whatnot, is yeah, it might not have been the best. You might not have much, but your peoples did the best that they could with what they had, right? And sometimes unfortunate circumstances happen where it could be accidents, whatever like that. You grow up fast, so you see, she said, her and her sister, they were pregnant very young, like they became mothers at a young age, 14 years old, and she also said that growing up in her household, it was a mix between the two. It was like northern vibes because of the environment you're living in, but it was also southern vibes because her grandparents and stuff like that were from the south. And so I can attest to that because growing up in my house, which I grew up with my grandmother, my grandmother, she was, from or lived in Philadelphia, but a lot of her family and her roots and stuff was from the South. So it was a lot of, you learn a little bit about both as far as like your teachings and how you're raised. And I want to say something about her also, speaking on the fact that, if something is said about me or if I've done something that I need to address it straight in front, that is a thing. And I'll tell y'all a story. And I can't be sure if anybody else experienced this, but a story for me is like when I was living in New Jersey or whatnot when I was young, um, one of the things that my grandmother and my mother would do is if someone did something to me, then we're going to address that. But if I also did someone to someone else, that's also equally going to be addressed. So it'd be a lot of times like they'll find out you was at the schoolyard, you hit so and so in the head, or y'all got into a fight, or you pushed so and so down to the ground, boop, boop, boop. So then that kid go home, they tell their parents contact your parents, and your parents is like, all right, let's get to the bottom of it. What happened? And then your parents is going to grill you for answers. Their parents is going to grill them for answers. And it needs to be resolved right after school, like literally. And so, like in my neighborhood where I grew up, if that ever would happen, my grandmama would drag my mama because she raised my mom, of course. So she started with her. And then after my mama had me, I learned the same thing. She would drag us across town or across the block or wherever to whatever the issue was, and you dealing with it head on, like pull up style. And it's not always that that person is in the wrong. Sometimes you're in the wrong. And what my grandmama used to do, if I was in the wrong or my mom was in the wrong, you have to apologize. You have to apologize. You have to take accountability for that. And, you squash it and you go back on home, back around the corner, back to your block. That's how we used to deal with things like growing up in the city. At least, and I was growing up in the 90s. My mom was growing up in the 60s. Kelly Price that said she was growing up in the 70s. So, time frames are different. I get that. But, sometimes that's just how, when you're raised that way, then when you grow up to become an adult, you approach things that same way. Like, yo, what's up? What's T? What did I do? What did I say? What's the problem? Oh, you got an issue with me? Okay, I'll be right over there. That's just how I was raised. Like, I don't need nobody to drag me anymore over. I take myself. And whether I'm going, it's either I did something wrong or that person did something wrong. And now let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's address it. I think sometimes, and after this, we'll play some more. But I think sometimes, like based off of like how you're raised and stuff like that, it really does make a difference of how your character is and you approach conflict or things of that nature. And so I think a lot of people, as we're on this platform, we don't all understand each other's backgrounds, how we were raised, where we come from, lessons that we were taught, how we were taught to approach certain things. And sometimes it can come off like very weird, odd, or strange, or, offensive. But it's not meant to be. I think a lot of it has to do with that's just like how you were raised. Like it's embedded in you. You know what I mean? To deal with a situation head on. Like, so I know a lot of times people call me aggressive and they said I'm mean and I'm nasty and things of that nature when certain things happen. But if there's a conflict or an issue, I was just raised like that. Like, oh, okay, you saying that I did this. All right, let me come over there. Let's talk about it. What happened? What I say, what I do. Let's talk about it. Now, if I did something wrong, I'm gonna admit to it. If you did something wrong, I'm gonna call you out on it. I was raised that way since I was a little girl, and that's how it was when we was in the city. But anyway, moving on. I don't know if anybody else can attest to that. We can play some more of the interview, unless you have a few more thoughts, feelings, and opinions, Imani, before we do.
Oh, Golden, you is not the aggressive one on this platform now. It's me. It's me. But I just like to say to
Child,
people, it's me. It's all about me these days. It's all about me. But I just like to say, I grew up in a household, there were six children. Six children. I had two brothers who trained at boxing. and I have three sisters. And the thing about it is, we were taught to stand up for each other. So if you hit one of our family, you hit us all. Now, I can translate that to my YouTube relationship with certain people. If you hit one of us, you hit us all. And I will come for you. I will come for you legally. I will come for you legally on this platform. And that is why I tell you, you can keep throwing shots all day, every day, but you will get a response. But it's not the response you think you're going to get. You don't like the fact that I don't do the wahala and dragging and screaming and shouting. You don't like the fact that I know the law. Unfortunately for you, people like me have to be 10 times smarter than people like you. That's why I know how to fight. And I fight for my people. And at the moment, my people are being attacked relentlessly. So you can keep coming, you can keep throwing shots, you can keep making digs, you can keep saying, I'm controlling this platform. But I will tell you something. You guys do not know Golden. Golden is not dictated to by anyone, not me, not her mother, not anyone, because she's a Taurus. She's a bull. She don't care whether I tell her A or B. She does what she wants. The fact is, you're trying to cause division between us by saying that I'm controlling this platform. Your problem is you need to focus on your own content. That's what your problem is. You worry more about what we do than what you should be doing. And that is why I say, keep coming. Keep throwing shots. You guys have never had to struggle like some of us have struggled. I worked in New York and I lived in New York. That's why I know about America. That's why I know about the United States. I have family here. I've lived here. So keep playing with me and I'm going to show you exactly how I play. I told you guys I don't play games. These guys do not understand because you're not the aggressive one now, Golden. It's me. I'm controlling your platform. I'm telling you what to do. I'm rude. You guys have never had to deal with an educated Black person because you've been allowed to run riot in places and spaces where people have been polite enough to give you room. And you're now, as we say in the UK, taking the piss. So I'm going to show you exactly how I play. And that's all I have to say.
Well, well, well. What I'm telling y'all, for real, honestly, like what we have to learn. Hey, Raina, thank you, boo, thank you. But
Hey,
what we
Raina.
have.
Sorry. Hey, Raina. I just needed to.
Let's shout out everybody. Hey,
What's
Amy,
that?
what's up? You were here early, waiting. Thank you, Amy, so much. Child, I ain't never on time. I got to be so much better. I got to be on time. But thank you so much, Amy. And you know, Mama Warrior is always here. I think Lil Zoo popped in. What up? You know, Lil Zoo, whatever. I don't have no problems with people. I really don't. Like, if they ain't got no problem with me, I ain't got no problem with you, honestly. But I will say, what I feel, what I think, what I mean, and have to deal with my transgressions accordingly. So, you know, if you don't really fully know all of what's going on, which I had to learn myself, again, accountability, you got to be honest, you know, with yourself. You're like, yo, I don't really know what's going on to really insert myself. Just say that. But anyway, yeah. So like we were saying, if we all want to be one united front here and things of that nature, we all have to get to know each other. You know what I mean? And I think it's too much fighting all of the time. that stands in the way of us actually fully trying to get to know one another. And getting to know someone is understanding their background, where they came from, how they were raised, how they think, how they operate, how they move. It may not be offensive to you if you fully understand it and you're not on the other side. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like you won't feel offended if you just understand, like, we're all different. We all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different walks of life. We've learned how to handle ourselves and carry ourselves differently, speak differently, different accents. And again, you talking to on the panel two black women. I happen to be a black woman that comes from a similar background as far as being in, like whatever, like the hoods, the project, whatever. I just happen to live in the United States. You're talking to another black woman who also went through those same experiences in the country that she was in. It just happens to be the UK. So it's all of us all over the place, right? Including black people. We're everywhere. Okay. So just because a black person grows up one place doesn't mean they don't have a certain experience or a way that they've been raised or they move and they operate that's going to be different because, they may have a beautiful, very intellectual accent. You know what I mean? Like, don't judge people. It's like, don't think nobody's no slow leak or nothing like that. You know what I mean?
And can I just say something to Amy?
Imani?
Yes, you're right. We are the human race and we care about our people, our family. And you keep coming and attacking and throwing shots, you're going to get a surprise because we care about one another. Doesn't matter where we are, what platforms we're on, we care about right and wrong. That's all, that's it. And we care about being unified and loving one another and taking care of one another. So you can keep doing all your toxic lives, throwing shots, defaming, casting aspersions about people. You want to know what? It's not working. So keep doing what you're doing because that's the only way you know how to operate. We're going to keep doing what we're doing in love and unity. And guess what? That's what Ralph teaches. Unfortunately for you, you want toxic. So you go over and go with the toxic. Go with the toxic. We don't care. We don't care. Just let us do how we do what we do.
Well said. Let's get back into the video, y'all.
Equally yoked has so much more to do than with, whether or not you both go to church or the same kind of church,
Yeah, that's a good point.
That doesn't mean being equally yoked with someone. You're looking for the same things out of life. You have the same kinds of goals.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you agree on every single thing, but it means that you agree that where you want to go in life, you're going to get there, and you're going to find a way to get there together. And even if we don't see it exactly the same way, we see it as important enough to find a way to combine what you believe with what I believe to get to where we're trying to go.
To align the tactics to get to achieve the goal.
And to get there. And even now, like I tell people, marriage to me is not 50-50. I don't know what this stuff is they out here teaching people. Marriage is not 50-50.
Only people who have not been married think marriage is 50-50.
And to be honest with you, it never has been.
No,
it never has been. And I'm not one of those women that's saying, and no, of course it ain't never been because the woman is going to always end up doing more. No, baby, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
The best marriages are the ones that are balanced. When you choose balance, because when I wake up this morning, I might only be able to give 10%. And if I can only give 10%, I need
a 90.
I need who I'm with to give 90 and not say you're not doing your part, so I can't be here today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that day is going to come when they're not going to be able to give. Maybe they'll only be able to give 30%.
And you got to come up with that 70.
You got to come up with the 70 to hold it together. And then there are days where,
It's 50-50.
it's 50. It's 50-50.
So-
And God help that in sickness and in health. If you laying in a bed in a hospital, which I've experienced that.
Yeah.
With tubes up my nose and people trying to pump my heart back to get me back to life again. I'm giving 0 on that day.
Yeah, you ain't got it, sis.
I'm giving 0 on that day. So whoever I'm with, they're either with me or they're not.
Mm.
And so, you get older and you live and you learn, hopefully, because there's a whole lot of BS going on out here. And I look at some of these sisters that's my age and I'm like, I hope they paying you well for that.
It's gonna be over real soon.
Because this is right here.
So you said when your sister, I did not know your younger sister passed away.
In 2014, I was actually living here.
Uh-huh.
I was living here in the state of California.
But it wasn't a relapse in the drug addiction, was it?
It was as a result of a relapse into the drug addiction, and her organs started to shut down.
Oh.
And she actually was sick enough that she had made it to the #1 spot on the UNOS list for a liver.
Oh, wow.
And they took her off of it because they found out that one of her visitors at the facility where she was staying was not her brother, he was her dealer. So they took her off the list. She checked herself out of the facility and she was gone in 30 days. And that was in 2014.
Were you aware of that? Or that any of that was happening?
I was living here. She was living there.
Mm-hmm.
I had just gone through a major change in my life. While she was going through that part, I was dealing with a female illness of my own. I had just had a hysterectomy. And so there was so much going on in life. And so when she died, and she literally died like right after I had, like weeks after I had my hysterectomy.
Right.
So I had to get permission to travel from California to New York to go to my sister's funeral. And that was when I made the decision that I wanted to be happy for the rest of my life. And after being in a situation, I came from old school church people, pray and stay, and the husband is sanctified through wife, and and all of these things.
This was your first marriage, right? How many years were you all married?
Almost 25.
Yeah.
I got married. I got pregnant. I got married.
That's what you do, right? That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you did back then.
That's what the church says do.
That's what the church said to do back then.
Yeah.
So I decided,
But I have to say this.
Yes.
To be married for 25 years and then make the decision, which I'm sure is not an easy one, especially when you have kids, the dynamics are, when you have kids to the marriage, the dynamics are completely different.
Yeah.
So I have to say, the courage it must have taken for you to make a decision to leave a 25-year marriage. I don't know how a woman or a man can come to that decision. That's a hard one.
Well,
because you would think, how is my life going to be different? Or like you said, you've been with him since you had the first child. How do you see your life going forward? You know what I'm saying? Like without him, how does that happen?
I was over the person. To
build that strength up inside?
I had to convince myself that I was enough for someone else to want to be with, that they would want to look at this body, that someone would look at me and see beauty, that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I've now also been in the public eye for a very long time. So I have to be very concerned about who that person is. Do I date in the industry? I didn't want to do that.
Right.
I had been in the industry a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And knew.
And very successful.
and knew just about everybody. So
Right.
I knew where.
Not him, definitely not him.
No, and all the hers too. Like I knew I knew where all the bodies were.
Right.
And for the bodies that I didn't know where they were, when I found out, I was like, oh my God. Like it was weird.
Right.
So I had never dated. I was a church girl.
Yeah.
I was a church girl.
Well, that's why I'm saying it had to be like you had to build up a lot of courage to leave something you knew for 25, like your first ever, to pop that cherry.
Yeah.
Like how? That's a hard, sis.
It was very scary.
Yeah.
It was very scary.
Did you believe you would make it by yourself?
Losing my sister was the number one factor in me deciding that I owed it to myself to see what life looked like outside of
what you've known it to be.
Yeah.
Then your grandparents died.
Both of my grandparents died during COVID. Because by the time I had gotten divorced, and I literally got divorced a year later. Like when my sister died, I was like, yeah, no, I got to figure out. I got to figure out how life looks from another angle, from another perspective. And I had so much fun with my grandparents, like from 2015 on. Like my children were grown; they weren't living at home.
Right.
And here I am. I'm like, what do I do with myself? So I start getting television parts, and I'm doing all this acting and that kind of thing, and I'm still, doing shows on the weekend. And I'm like, you know what? I can kind of do what I want to do. I can travel where I want to travel. I can go where, and I had never experienced that before. I went on my first girls trip, probably like in 2018. Had never been on one in my entire life. Like I was.
Where did you go?
Anguilla.
Okay.
It was nice, and it was for my birthday. It was for my birthday. And it was with some TV exec girlfriends, and like it was really cool. So I was like, I need to travel more often. And then I was like, I need to see my grandparents more often, because I didn't get a chance to see them a lot when I lived in California because they were in New York.
Yeah.
And I moved, all the TV shows I was filming were in Atlanta. So I was like, that's 2 hours. So I started flying to New York once a month.
To see your grandparents.
Yep. And for those years, all before COVID, for those 5 years before COVID shut the country down, every weekend.
You were there.
I was in New York. And not every weekend, but I would take 2 days out of every month. Sometimes
you say you had fun with them. What did you do? What was fun?
Talk. Because there were things that they never talked about.
Yeah.
When I was younger.
Doesn't it feel good to talk to your grandparents?
My God. How they met.
Soak up soak up that information.
How they met. Stuff my grandfather would have never. He would be rubbing on her and just touching all over her, touching her face and kissing all over her. And she would be looking at him like, nigga, please. And she was quiet. My grandmother was so.
Was there a different relationship when you were older versus when you were younger with your grandparents?
Well, I was a kid. I was a kid. And then I became a kid who started a family.
Yeah.
And you're a wife. You're a mother. This is what you're supposed to do. Go do it. And I also started with Mariah when I was 18.
Yeah.
As well.
All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick commentary break. And then after the commentary break, we'll do a little song break, and then we'll get into some more of this conversation. I hope you guys are liking the conversation. I hope you're liking the content. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your day and whatever time zone you're in, whether it's morning, evening, afternoon, or night, to come and kick it and rock with us. And again, like we say, if you meet us in the comment section over here in the chat, we appreciate your engagement, and we're going to be right there with you. But if you like to just kick back, and lay in the cut and just listen, we appreciate that as well. We can feel your presence. But before we get into the song break, let's talk about this segment of some of the conversations we just heard. And Imani, would you like to go first?
No, you lead, I'll follow. Otherwise, they'll just say I'm controlling you.
Oh, good
Not that I
Lord.
care.
Yeah, I thought this was a great part of the segment or whatnot. And we will actually all have to, we can't play it all on this live tonight. So we'll do like a part one, part two, part three. But a lot of things she's talking about, I feel like a lot of people can attest to because they probably went through the same things as well. One of the things she talked about that, really broke her a lot is she did lose her sister. And then during, the COVID or whatnot, the pandemic, she wound up losing her grandparents. Her grandparents were very, you know, well, she was very close to her grandparents. And so that stuck a dagger in her heart. And then, just reflecting back in those moments, right, when it could be very touch and go. You remember, a lot of things, or you spend time with them and they tell you a lot of things and give you a lot of wisdom. And then you also see them as like basically just human. Because a lot of times we often see our grandparents and our parents as like not human because we're going through things as adolescents and younger individuals, and we don't realize that like they have been there too. It might not have been during this time, but during their time, they also were a teenager and they went through, a lot of the same things that we went through. And so they don't always talk about it because, they got to raise you and, there's other things they focus on. But when you have that moment to just sit with them and talk, and they tell you, like about your life, their life, and things that they used to do, and things that you be like, Grandma, what? You did that? You'd be surprised sometimes what your grandmas will tell you. And what I love is that she's so close to her family. You could tell that. And she had to really navigate a lot. As far as losing some of the pillars, I believe, of her family and, her upbringing. Like the people that were most important to her, that's gotta hurt really hard. And especially the way that, they have departed from her. Um, her sister's story, as far as, what happened with her unfortunate circumstance with substances, um, yeah, that I think maybe other people may have experienced that in their family or whatever as well. Um, and then with the pandemic, that took a lot of people in our family that we love away from us. So she's gone through a lot. She also talked about being, and I remember that this was in the um, like the headlines and stuff when she first came out as a singer. And there were talks, and I remember I think Angie Stone talked about it as well. Um, it was unfortunate that her voice was good enough, but her looks wasn't good enough, right? Because she was, a plus size woman, beautiful, regardless. But they would have her sample and sing background, and her vocals on a lot of songs that y'all wouldn't even know. But it was a long time before they gave her chance to be on the stage, to be seen. Because at that time back then, they didn't see that body aesthetic as beautiful. And so it's like, your voice is amazing, but I don't think people gonna want to look at you. And that was very hurtful and harmful to her as well. Now, remember that was the thing that got talked about back in the day. But can't nobody sleep on Kelly Price vocals, okay? I wish I had the ability to play music on my channel because I would play y'all a Kelly Price song. And I'm telling you, her voice will blow you up out the water. And if you have not listened to any of her songs, if y'all want to, just go ahead and search a child. All the songs and stuff be on YouTube and stuff like that. That woman sings from her soul. And it's understandable because you already heard her say she's a preacher's kid. She come from the church. A lot of people, and this is the thing, a lot of people that come from the church, they start off in the church as far as vocals and stuff like that. They typically are ones that have like, I don't know, like just these, it's a difference. Like their voices is so powerful. Like they can sing and bring you to tears. They can sing and bring you to your knees. They can sing, and all of the lyrics and how they singing it, it's like they speaking directly to your soul. And she's someone who has one of those voices. And I thought it was very unfortunate that when she was in the music industry at that time, that was, how it went down. But then, people that came in who could make a difference, they changed that and they turned that around. So shout out to the Isley brothers, Ron Isley. He was part of that as well. Um, just a little music history or whatnot. But yeah, there were entertainers or whatnot that were like, yeah, no, no, we need Kelly, and we Kelly about to be all done up, and Kelly about to be out there because she deserved to be out there, and that's what I love about when you can be somebody who has the opportunity to make a difference and maybe change somebody's life, and you do it. I think that's excellent. And what else? That's it. That's it. There's more I could talk about, but you go, Imani. I've talked about a few things, and you talk about some of the things that stood out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that stood out the most to me, which is something I can attest to, was the deep pain of losing her sister. Um, and she also talked about navigating marriage and ultimately deciding that peace and happiness are worth pursuing. And rather than looking at her divorce as a failure, she presents it as choosing life after years of emotional sacrifice. Like I said, she shared the story of losing her sister after years of addiction. This is something I can really attest to. Um, I grew up in a large family and I was very close to my brother. This is the only personal thing I will share on this app because people like to weaponize your pain and use it for content. And during this time where people were being shouted at in the Discord, and people are talking about how someone shouting at them caused them ultimate pain that they can't recover from. I lost my brother, who was my best friend. My brother was bipolar and addicted to alcohol. He died on his doorstep. And how he was found, we didn't know whether something untoward had happened to him. So during this time that all these women are talking about all their pain, I lost my brother. And then 6 weeks later, my nephew, who is 25 years old, died because someone spiked his drink when he was out in a club. So I dealt with two autopsies that people couldn't get buried for months during the time that Ralph was making people's life a misery by shouting at them in a Discord. This is what was going on in my life. And my brother had 20 years of addiction and being bipolar and the problems. And if anybody listens to Mama's live on mental health, you will know what a struggle. My brother was my best friend. He died on his doorstep and he was found without clothes on. So we didn't even know if he'd been murdered. Excuse me, trigger warning. When you guys are complaining about a person shouting at you in a Discord, you guys think the biggest thing that happened to you was someone kicked you out of their own application. This is what people deal with in real life. Just like Kelly says, the pain, the heartbreak of my best friend dying on his doorstep, cold and alone, because he had locked himself out because he was too drunk to remember his next door neighbor had his keys. And I'm really sorry, I'm really emotional. But I will tell you, people do not understand. There are children dying in Gaza every day. Children are dying in Gaza every day. People are going through stress and pain. And you guys are weaponizing real life tragedies for your own entertainment. I'm really sorry. I had to get that out today. But anyway, she talks about her loss of her sister, and her sister was young. And she also talks about becoming a young mother herself and the expectation placed on church families. And she really redefines what it means to be truly yoked. And I can tell you, I've been with someone for 25 years. We're no way truly yoked. We just switch who's the leader and who takes charge depending on the situation. Nothing is ever 50-50 between us. Nothing. We just switch and do. I do what I'm good at, he does what he's good at, and we make it work. And that's really how it is, because you're never really equally yoked all the time. I can tell you. He can tell you when it comes to anything to do with the house or to do with to do with men's stuff, and he starts mansplaining to me, I'll just say, yeah, it's yours. You deal with it. When it comes to paperwork and making sure that things get sorted out, I take over. I woman-splain to him how things get done. And that's how we make it work. And that's why how I think a lot of relationships are. That you switch between being the leader and the follower. That's how you can make it work. That's how I've made my 25-year relationship work. But, you know, she does say healthy marriages require partners to compensate when one person is struggling. And that's what people should do. They should realize their partner needs support and they take a back seat, or they do what their partner needs at that time. She also talks about following her sister's death. She decided she deserved happiness, and everybody deserves to be happy. And it's really important to rebuild your life. You know, I've got a lot of friends who've been decades in one relationship. I have a friend who was with her partner for 30 years and they decided to get married, and he had a heart attack about 2 weeks after their wedding. And she was heartbroken. She was heartbroken, but I saw her a few weeks ago. He died 2 years ago, and she's rebuilding her life. And she said, do you think it's bad I'm in another relationship? I said, you have to do what makes you happy. Don't look about what people are talking about or how they're discussing how quickly you've gone into a relationship. You know what's good for you. And that's what I believe. Mind your own business. Sort out your own life. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Because she was worried because people were gossiping about her. And this is what Kelly's talking about. She said, you got to learn that you're worthy of love again. You know, you got to learn that you can heal. And I would really, really tell people, go listen to Kelly's song called Healing. You know, it's really, really, you know, really, really important to follow your own path, your own journey. And as long as you're not hurting anybody on the way there, you need to just be you and be happy with you. And as long as you are not treating anybody badly, do you. That's what I got from this section. Sorry about that emotional bit at the beginning, but I just really need to tell people these people are getting right up my nose with their crap.
Yes, hello. This is Mama Warrior DD Fox chiming in a little bit. Hey, Imani. I was listening. That was really spectacular what you were explaining, and what's going on with this interview right here. It comes home for a lot of us. Um, I had a 21-year marriage that didn't make it. We had a whole lot of different things in it. It was a lot of alcoholism and what have you. And like I said, I'm a DV survivor. So, yeah, everybody has a different story. Everybody can relate but we all have a different story. And like you said, Imani, this nonsense that's been going on for a very long time really has to come to an end because we don't have time. You know, every morning we wake up, we're not guaranteed to wake up every morning, and we don't have time for nonsense. We don't have time for the chaos. We don't have time for the bickering back and forth. We don't have time for this. And that's one thing that I remind myself all the time. We don't have time. We don't have time. And I just want to say hello to the chat and everybody that's present. This is a wonderful interview. I am immensely enjoying learning and can relate to quite a few things in this interview. And you ladies are doing a wonderful job. So I just wanted to chime in and say hello and just leave that message that we don't have time.
You also lost a friend very
and
shortly after you
I
met.
also lost a loved one, the love of my life. It's been about 2 years now. Just suddenly, just suddenly, and it broke my heart. It took me through a whirlwind. I'm still not really quite over it. I don't think we have a time zone when we're over it. Many days and mornings and nights, I think about him, and it's just the way he was taken. It's just like it was a natural thing, but it just came at a time when we were at the epitome of our love. We were at the epitome of talking about getting married, and we were going to take vacations, and we were going to do so many things. And then all of a sudden he was like gone. That's why I say we don't have time, people. We don't have time for the nonsense. We don't have time. And that's all I wanted to share.
Thank you, Ma. Mm-hmm. So as we can see, so many people with so many different stories and experiences, and a lot of them very unfortunate, very sad, very hurtful, very painful. We all are going through something. So we have to just spread love, right? Because we just never know. We never know. But let's go ahead and take a quick song break, y'all. After the song break, we'll play a little bit more of the interview. Again, thank you all for rocking with me. I really appreciate it. And I hope you all are doing well. Let's go ahead and get this song on, and we'll be right back.
Still they got people forgetting folks in you. That part. Every laugh ain't harmless. Every post ain't just jokes. Some people smiling online, crying in real life. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Why you tearing people down for fun? Why? You don't know what they carry when the camera done. Broken souls throw stones, then hide their hands. Cowards in comment sections playing God again. Karma don't miss. And healing's still possible too. So either spread love or watch life humble you. Yeah. YouTube streets messy, everybody got a target. Creators throwing dirt like hate became a market. Mocking people daily, that spirit look haunted. Tell me who raised y'all, this behavior garbage. Laughing at depression, exposing folks' trauma. Then that shock when tragedy follow behind you. The evil energy, boomerang proper. Come on, pull up silent like a midnight robber. And honestly, do you watch my live? I talk truth, pain, growth, tears, real vibes. Not everybody built for the games online. Some folks want insult from losing their mind. That's fake, no cap. Y'all did the humiliation. Every live stream feel like public execution. Views over souls, cloud over humans. Then wonder why the whole world mentally ruined. Somebody mama crying at night. Somebody daughter hurt inside. Somebody praying not to give up while bullets screenshot painful like shame on you. You need healing too. Only damaged people wake up daily, trying to damage others too. Enough is enough. Why you tearing people down for fun? Tearing them down. You don't know what they fighting when the live stream done. Let me know. Keyboard killers acting tough online. Whole time spiritually broken inside. Karma don't miss, no. Karma don't skip souls either. Every hateful seed gon' meet the reaper. So to the hurt and bully people, listen close. You matter more than these demons online. These chicks bitter, these dudes weird. Obsessed every day, like why you still here? Refreshing my page while pretending you don't care. Whole personality built off hate and fear. Talk slick online, real life timid. Broken inside, everybody can't feel it. Projecting they wounds while the comments all cheering. That ain't straight, baby, that sickness concealed. And I said what I said. Yeah, some of these creators need therapy bad. Not another live stream drag. Not another fake outrage cash grab. Y'all bully for a living, that's sad. Spirit look bankrupt, dusty and mad. And the people encouraging it just is trash. Laugh now, karma got a long memory past. Lord, cover the wounded, cover the lonely heart, cover the lonely heart, cover the people crying silently in dark rooms. Teach us compassion again. Teach this world mercy again. Because words cut deep, so deep. And some people never recover. To everybody bullied online, you are not weak because you hurt. You are not crazy because you feel pain. And don't let these empty souls convince you your life got no value. The loudest bullies usually fighting demons they never healed from. That ain't an excuse, but it's the truth. And to the bullies, get help, seriously. This obsession will tear his strangers apart every day. That ain't normal. Enough is enough. We need love more than ever now. Too many souls out here barely hanging on somehow. No more glorifying painful views. No more clowning her forever new. No more mob attacks for entertainment. That darkness got consequences too. Karma don't miss, and healing still possible too. So either spread love or watch life humble you. Enough is enough. Spread love before it's too late. Yeah, before it's too late.
All right, y'all. Thanks for rocking with me. That song break right there. I know that was quite an emotional moment because, like basically saying the song and we're saying as well, you just never know what someone has been through or somebody's going through. And I just think we gotta be like a more understanding and loving to one another and more kind. And yes, we fall short of that. We fall short of the glory sometimes. And we come out of character. And that's also something, that can be worked on as well, that I'm working on when it comes to myself. Right. But at the core, all I really want to do is just spread love and light and happiness and kindness. And y'all know I'm a clown. I like to do all of that. I like to joke and laugh and have fun and make other people laugh and just have good times. And so it's unfortunate that fighting has to happen, arguments have to happen, all of this disdain is happening on this platform. We all are going through something. And so, we don't have time for that. Let's have good times while we can, because we don't know if we're going to have another time, and we don't know if we're going to have a bad time and have to suffer through losses and things of this nature. So, we don't want to be miserable every day. It's not healthy. Imani, I'm sending you hugs, baby. You know that. Child,
Listen, I'm okay. Honestly, I'm okay.
Said it like that. Now they gonna run with that, but you know how I talk. So anyway,
No,
but yeah,
no. I'm actually okay. This was all happening at the same time last year. And that's why I don't have the tolerance for the BS that some of these people are saying. And they may think I'm hard and I'm being tough, but I had other stuff going on in my life, my real life. My real life had stuff going on. So some of this stuff, you may think that I dismiss it. Yes, I dismiss it because I had to deal with two family members that might have been unalived by other people and has turned out to one of them being unalived, my nephew of 25 years old. So I don't give a flying F what you come with because I've dealt with tougher than you can bring to me now and you can bring to my people because I am telling you, you better make sure you're on target. And that's all I got to say. And I'm really sorry, guys, if I've triggered anybody. I just needed to let it. And you can clip this up any time of day and play it because I can stand by what I did in the Discord. And all you Discord divas, heal yourselves.
Thank you for sharing, Imani. And you know how I started off my channels and stuff is literally for this reason, for this purpose, right? So we all can get to know one another, have conversations. We don't have to tell too much of our business. We don't want to. But if someone is in need or they need someone to talk to or they need to just vent and let something off their chest and their heart, this has always been what I want my channel to be, a safe place for us to do that, right? It was not supposed to be about the fighting and the yelling and the hooping and the hollering. I never wanted to have my channel that way. And so thank you for sharing. And for anybody else that suffered a loss as well, you know, just understand we get it. We know what you're going through and how you feel.
And may God bless and heal in time. May
Yes,
God
mother.
bless and heal you in time. Yeah.
Yeah. But y'all, let's get back into a little bit more of the conversation and we'll meet y'all over in the chat.
You know, so my life took on so many different like very different dynamics. Very early, very quickly, very close together.
Yeah.
And so I had to figure it out. I had to figure it out. I had to figure it out. I did. I don't know.
Kelly, this is so amazing. Like this, let me tell you why this is amazing. Because I'm visualizing how chaotic your life must have been.
It was
from the
crazy.
time you had your kids
Yes.
up until Mariah Carey and then this wonderful music career. And then you say, you know what? I want to change it. I don't want to be married anymore. I want to visit my grandparents. Like, it's like there was this shift. Do you think it had to do with age? Did it have to do with you not being happy for many years?
For so many years, yes and yes. With getting older, with not being happy for so many years. And then a light popped on in my head and I was like, but why don't you just get on a plane? What's stopping you? Like, there's not a dog here. The kids are grown. Nobody else, like, you don't have to answer to anybody about, you know, if you go and decide that you want to stay 3 or 4 days instead of 2 days, like, unless you got to come back to work, like, what's the problem? I was so used to, I'd spent my entire life, I went from one form of answering to someone to another form of answering to and for someone.
And you've never lived for yourself.
I had never lived for myself.
Oh.
And so getting on a plane to go see my grandparents almost felt like I was playing hooky from school. It was weird.
Wow.
It was weird. So I would just get on a plane and like take a quick bag and I would go hang out with them during the day and stay in the city, go see a Broadway play.
Right? Gotta see a Broadway play.
Go see a Broadway play.
Gotta see a Broadway play.
Go back the next day, go hang out with the grandparents.
Off subject, why have you never been on Broadway?
I would do it if they asked me. I've received light asks at times. And other decisions were made for those asks.
Right. Got it.
But it's not.
But you
because
would do it.
I would do it, of
Oh, okay.
course.
Oh,
Of
that's great.
course. I'm from New York City.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're spending all this time with your grandparents
Yeah.
during COVID, and then
Yeah, all leading all the way up until COVID. Literally, the last time I saw my grandfather alive was in March, early March
Mhm.
of 2020.
Right.
I had already been proposed to,
Mhm.
and he had already given his blessing.
Your grandfather did.
He did. And he was like, "So what are you waiting for?" And I'm like, "Grandpa, please don't do that. I was married a very long time. I love this man. I'm going to marry him.
Mhm.
I just want to."
Right. Woosah.
Right.
It's just
Please.
woosah.
And
We
his
enjoy
thing,
this.
and his thing is like, "You ain't gonna be out here living in sin, because I know." Because I know that if you go marry this man, and I'm looking at my grandfather like,
What'd you call him? What do you call him?
Grandpa,
Grandpa?
Mm.
Mm.
Grandpa. Yeah, I was 9 when my dad died.
Mm.
Yeah. And
And your mother?
Lost him to the streets as well. My mother died during COVID as well.
So you lost your grandfather, your grandmother, and your mother?
All during COVID. And it tried to take me too.
I don't even know how you smiling right now. That's
because when people can say, "I don't know, is there really a God?" Yes, there is. Yes, there is. I clear out my closet 2-3 times a year, and I donate, to places where they
Right.
give clothes to people, and I'll take something I maybe have only worn once, and a lot of times I'll find stuff in my closet that I didn't even remember was there, and it's got tags on it, and I'll take
Right.
it and donate. I've been doing that for years, and today, no, it was yesterday. Yesterday, it's the top of the year, so I'm doing a lot of purging out of the closets and doing whatever.
Of course.
I found my mask and the tubing, because when I came out of the hospital, I was still on oxygen when I had COVID. And I was unboxing some things, and I found the mask and the tubing that went with the mask.
Mhm.
I still have the portable oxygen machine. I had to carry it with me. If I was going to fly, I had to fly with it.
Right.
If I was going to get in the car and take a ride, I had to ride with it. If I was going to go to the grocery store, I had to go to the grocery store with it.
So you had to wear your oxygen everywhere you went?
Mhm. Yeah.
So you literally almost died from COVID.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm going to be careful when I ask you this.
Yes.
But was this during the time where people were concerned about you?
This was people. So it went from concern to something that got really
Ugly. Yeah.
And the only thing I can say to that, I actually chose not to expose a lot of things that have gone on in my family down through the years. And I protected people that did not protect me.
Mm.
So I had COVID. Even when I left the hospital, my bedroom had been turned into a hospital room. I had a compressor with two big oxygen tanks, and they came and they swapped them out twice a week.
In your bedroom at home?
At home, yes. Yes.
What happened though, Kelly? Like, were you unable to breathe at some point and had to go to the hospital? Or?
So I got it. It didn't seem like it was going to be that bad.
Mm-hmm.
My husband did not have it, but he was helping to take care of me
right
while I was sick. Then 2-3 days later.
Do you think it was because you were going back and forth to your grandparents' house, or no, not during that time?
Well, no. Because when they shut the country down,
mm-hmm.
I stayed home.
Okay.
They shut the country down in 2020. I didn't do any shows in 2020. I didn't travel in 2020. After that, I didn't do anything. I would talk to my grandparents on the iPad.
Right.
I started taking shows again in June of 2021, the very end of June of 2021, after the third show that I took. And so what I would do is I would take a test before I flew,
Right.
come back home, wait a day or so, take a test. Everything's good. First 2 times, I was good. The third time, came home and I had it.
And so what were physically, how did you feel?
I didn't feel it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It's
A lot of
just-
times some people don't feel it.
But I did it because I was doing concerts.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing concerts. No way. I can fly with a mask.
Mm-hmm.
I can't sing through one.
No, you can't sing through a mask.
Can't sing through a mask. You know,
I mean,
so-
you can blow now. Let's not get it twisted. You can blow, but I don't know that a mask would.
But there are just some
accentuate
there are just some
your talents.
things that's the reason why the hospitality and like shows and stuff first to shut down.
Right.
To shut down.
Right.
Because how do you prevent being
Yeah, it's a whole super spreading thing
You
because you've got an
can't-
audience that's screaming and hollering, and you've got yourself on stage, and you've got your backgrounds, and everybody's exposed.
and we really
for
didn't know
shows.
enough about it. Like,
Yeah.
first they were saying, stay X amount of, feet away from what and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And, then they were telling us, well, if somebody, sneezed in their hand and they touched a can of peas in the grocery store,
Yeah, we were washing groceries,
we
sister.
were-
We was coming home washing the cereal boxes.
I had bleach stains.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everywhere. Because even with whether the groceries, whether I brought them in the house or if I had them delivered or
You had
whatever
to
the
wash
case
them
may-
down.
At first I would leave them there for a while
Right.
and then I would spray them and then I'd leave them there for a while and then I'd bring everything upstairs and then I'd clean everything
So
and then
now
I'd wash
you're
the
in the
floors and-
hospital, though.
Yeah.
What takes you to the hospital?
So my husband was in communication with my primary care physician, and she was saying, okay, so give her this, blah, blah, blah. Get her one of those things that you put on her finger so that you can monitor. I can't think of what it's called, but it
Blood pressure?
it would monitor like your heart
Or
rate.
your heart rate.
and
Okay.
that kind of thing, and how much oxygen, the oxy thing they call it, how much oxygen is getting to your lungs.
Right.
And so he started watching my oxygen numbers go down, 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 down. And he said my skin started to turn gray. And at one point, it didn't look like I was breathing. So he started punching my chest and performing the
Right. CPR.
CPR. And he's dialing 911 and performing CPR and like trying to get me up. And so he was able to get my oxygen numbers up and he was able to wake me up. And literally he said, I put a wig in your hand. And I said, here, put your wig on your head. I'm going to get you a dress so I can get you dressed.
I know I'm supposed to be laughing, but that's funny as hell.
When we talk about it, we laugh now, and it's when you look back on it, it's not funny,
Right.
But he was like, just get the wig on
That
your
man
head.
said, put the wig on and let's go.
Even if it's crooked, because I know that you're gonna kill me. I'm not letting you leave this house without a wig. So just get the wig on your head. I'll
Right.
get you dressed.
Okay.
And he got me dressed and helped me straighten out my wig. And they would not let him on the ambulance with me. And by this time, he was already sick. So he
had COVID too.
He had COVID too. So he was driving behind the ambulance, sick. And when they looked at him, when they pulled up to the hospital, they looked at him and they said, should we be bringing you in here too? Because he looked like he was about to die.
Right.
And he said, no, you just make sure you take care of my wife. And he went back to the house. And as the news started to spread around the city, there were people that knew where I lived. They were showing up to the house, and some of it was because people cared and they wanted to.
So did people know that you were in the ambulance going to the hospital?
No.
Like, how did people
people that worked at the hospital. And I have to say, I will not call her name, but it's someone who I've known for over 20 years. I was in her wedding. She is a first lady of a church. I am her son's godfather. And
no, godmother.
Godmother. Yes. Thank you.
Like,
I'm her son's godmother. And I told you that I got to the hospital that Thursday, and I don't call it a coma. I just know that I didn't get back up. I didn't wake back up until Sunday morning.
You were out.
And I called her, and I couldn't really talk because I had tubes and everything. So I turned the FaceTime camera on, and I said to her, nobody knows exactly where I'm at. I want you to know, my husband knows, you know, please do not tell anyone where I am.
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
And so now everybody's looking for Kelly Price.
Now everybody's looking for Kelly Price. And it got nasty. It got nasty. And you got this part of the family fighting this part of the family. And
were you literally married at that time, or was he still your fiance?
No, we were married.
You were married.
We were married because my grandfather, he wanted to be the one to perform the ceremony.
Right.
He was the first one in the family to die of COVID. We last saw him in March of 2020. My birthday is in April of 2020. We were going to do it just small,
right?
Just so that he can say
he did it.
We you know, talked about planning a wedding, doing the whole thing, but we were going to do it. My birthday was April the 4th. We were on lockdown. He died April the 12th. And so we wanted to honor him. He didn't get it.
Wow. All right, y'all. So for the part one, we're gonna go ahead and end it right there, y'all. We're gonna do some commentary and, you know, play some songs and do a little bop on the way out. But you know, it's been very triggering conversation. A lot of things going on, a lot of loss within her family due to unfortunate circumstance when it comes to substance use. A lot of people, you know, lost a lot of people during the pandemic. She suffered that loss too. She almost didn't make it herself because she, you know, had COVID and stuff like that. And, you know, also, you know, the betrayal of your trust and, you know, asking for privacy and that not being, you know, warranted. So many things to talk about. But Imani, I'll let you go ahead and go, and then I'll say a few things after you're done.
Right. So I'm going to give you my my COVID story, and I'll just tell you I didn't take the vax, but we were in Jamaica because we have a house there. So we were in Jamaica from January till about the beginning of March. And the weird thing was, when we were in Jamaica, before all the major countries had a lockdown, we were going to restaurants and we were having to queue outside of the restaurant. We were having to sanitize our hands. This is pre-lockdown in any major country. So we came back and we were saying, what's going on? Because we had to sanitize our hands before we went into these restaurants. So I was saying to my partner, what's going on? Why have we got to stand outside this restaurant and wait to be seated and sanitize our hands like we don't wash our hands? Anyway, we come back from Jamaica, and as we normally do, we carry white rum and various other things. And then we were back for about uh, I think it was about 11 days. And both of us had really bad flu. What we thought was really bad flu. He had it first. And as normal, as men do, he was sick till he was dying. He was so ill. So I looked after him, and then he got better. And we were doing old fashioned remedies. We were doing a shot of rum with lime, lemon, and a couple of what you would say is Tylenol. We call them paracetamols. We were doing just old fashioned stuff, chucking the rum on us because we had really, really bad chests. And then I got ill and never went to a hospital, never knew what it was. We were sick for about 2 weeks, and I had a cough that would not go away for about 6 weeks. And then we went into lockdown. And then the US went into lockdown after the UK, and it was a big thing. So I remember getting into taxis because I was saying, well, my partner was working anyway because he does a job that he works within hospitals and with key workers. So he was going into work every day during lockdown. And he was telling me that doctors and nurses was not doing the 3 foot distancing. They were all talking to one another, no mask, whatever. We were having to go to the supermarket, do the 3 foot distancing. I don't know what it was. And I remember saying to him, if this virus is airborne, I get in an Uber. He's got a plastic cover that separates him from me. But if this virus is airborne, I'm getting in an Uber where someone else has got in. So if they have the virus, it's in the back of the cab. So what are they talking about? They're saying we can't hug our families. They're saying we have to separate. We can only have 6 people together, 6 people, and they can ensure that we can't get this virus. I said, this is a load of bullshit. Anyway, that was just me. I said, because I don't actually understand. And I said, and what makes me very suspicious about whether they knew or they didn't know, and this is all allegedly, was that we had to wash our hands before we went into Jamaican restaurants about 6 weeks ago, before anybody was talking about this virus. So the whole thing about what happened, and we lost a lot of people because most of the people that I know said, don't take me to the hospital, because most people that we know, we lost them when they went to the hospital with the breathing and all the rest of it. But we had it for about 6 weeks. Both of us had it. Both of us thought it was flu. And both of us used old fashioned remedies. And I'm not saying that we had the cure. I'm just saying we just didn't go to a hospital or a doctor. We thought we had flu before they even said it was there. And they kept sending us messages to go and get the vax. And we said, we're not really amongst a lot of people, so we don't need it. That was our personal decision. We didn't take it. I don't know, and I'm not going to say anything about the vax. All I'm saying is there was a lot of stuff that was going on at that time. And we were in Jamaica, and Jamaica was already talking about sanitization way before Western countries had a lockdown. So I think that was very, very interesting for me that they were already preparing for something that we didn't know about. But, like I said, Kelly talks about losing her sister. She also talks about losing people during lockdown. I was just giving you my personal story about what happened to me and how, you know, I had it. And when I went to a doctor, he said I had it, but we'd obviously recovered from it. So yeah, but like I said, she had, she really talks about her survival, and she reflects on, devastating loss, public scrutiny, and almost losing her own life. And rather than allowing tragedy to define her, she describes how it strengthened her faith, deepened her appreciation of every day she has. And that really was a lot of what she said. And I am not saying that what I say is about what happened with CV19. I'm just telling you about my experience of it and what was going on around that time.
Absolutely. Everyone has a story and an experience, right? Because that was such a crazy time. And it was a crazy time globally. So it wasn't just, oh, one country like the United States or whatnot was going to, everybody was going through it globally and dealing with it in whatever best way that they could, you know. And so I just say, thank God. Just thank God, that it's, you know, we've made it through it. And I say, you know, I give my condolences and my love to people who have may have family members or, you know, spouse or anything like that, that, you know, did not make it through, such as, you know, Kelly Price was talking about. I know it's many people out there as well who have, you know, suffered from fatalities and whatnot when it came to that nasty mess. Um, and you know, child, how they be. You can't talk too much about it. But I contest with you, Imani. We didn't have any really like issue or scare when it came to it, because we stayed in most of the time, and you know, that was about it. Like, we were fortunate, I guess, to not contract it, but we did have people around us that did. um and we didn't get any jabs or anything like that, um of any kind. No boosters, no jabs, no nothing. So, and we never got it. But yeah, I think, you know, there's something behind that, but we can't dive too much into it, y'all. Outside of that, what I'd like to say is overall, with what we heard from just this portion here of the interview, and we'll come back for the part two, is that you just never know what somebody's going through, and it doesn't matter who the person is. It could be a, you know, a legendary R&B singer, or they could just be the everyday, you know, guy at the grocery store that you see when you go there. You just never know what someone has going on in their life, what they've been through in their past, and you know what they may be fighting with in current time, because we all going through something, right? And I
Sorry,
just think
Golden,
it's, you know,
can I
yeah,
just say
go
one
ahead.
thing? The fact that I didn't take the vax is not a thing to say that people shouldn't take the vax. My view on this situation is you should do what's right for you. Because I have many
Right,
friends that have taken the vax and they have been fine,
yeah,
and I didn't take it and I have been fine. I'm not saying that you have to make a choice to not take it. I'm just saying that was
right,
my choice. And I have people that have
right,
had the vax and they are absolutely fine. It's a personal
absolutely.
choice.
It is. And it's not, you know, to say to anybody who has or hasn't that there's any difference. Somebody made a right choice, somebody made a wrong choice. I'm not saying that. Personal choice is personal choice. And again, it's not saying that if you get or you take that something bad will come out or has come out. It's just,
Sorry,
it's, you know, it is what it is.
sorry, sorry. I got to tell you, Raina, we had a curfew and we had times that we could go for exercise. And if you were out in the park on exercise during a time outside a curfew, you got a policeman, or they would ask you what you were doing out. They literally restricted the times we could come out of our house.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like with the curfews and all of that stuff, that was wild. Now, that was a wild time. And, you know, there may have been some elders or whatnot. And I know, you know, like they was unmoved, right? Because, you know, they may have been through something like this previous, you know, they like, okay, it's gonna be all right, or they got faith or whatever. But for people going through it for the first time, that was a pretty time. Anyway, moving on from that, y'all, because they don't want us to talk about certain things. Um, yeah, I like this part of the segment, this first part of the segment with Kelly Price. I think it's courageous for her to be so open and so honest and just lay it all out on the table. That's one of the things that me and my mom talk about a lot, and she's helping me get better with. And she's basically like, life is going to be lifing, and you deal with your things. You never, be fearful to be open about your experiences and things that you've gone through, and keep your story. You put your story out, because once you do, nobody else can write it for you. You're the only one that can write your story. And as far as this segment of the video, that's all I have. Unless you want to have a few more statements and whatnot, Imani, and then I'll end with my ending positive message.
Yeah. You know me, I've always got something to say. Now, I just want to give a big shout out to
Oh
the
yeah, we got to
channels
shout
that,
out the channels. Yeah, the channels. Yeah.
yeah, the channels. So go support Ralph the Wise, Maggie, Mama Warrior. She does some beautiful spiritual stuff that keeps you grounded. And it's not only about being a Christian, it's just about being grounded in your faith, whatever your faith is. Shout out to Trevor Green. Shout out to Kimmy Love and Unwind with Teddy. Those two women are fighting. They're fighting and they're big fighters, and they're doing their stuff on their channels. Cultivate with Kai, We the People, Goody. I haven't seen Goody's channel. Where is Goody? Cups of Conversation, Mel's World, Dropping the Tea, Star, Blueberry Street. Have I forgotten anybody? Also, for the music, Goody has some great music. Atlas has some great music. And of course, Golden Queen has some great music. Dropping the Tea has some great music. And 1-800 Brick City, who's normally here. Where is 1-800 Brick City? Yeah, please go and support these mid-tier channels, and please tell me anybody I've forgotten. Rose Tea Politics, of course. Rose Tea, when are you going to do your next political live? We're waiting. We're waiting. Yeah,
Mel,
just shout out to these guys. And on my
Mel
closing,
World.
I will only say, um, tonight wasn't just about music, celebrity, or life stories, even though I shared a bit of mine. It's about resilience. It's about what it takes to keep moving when life keeps knocking you down. Kelly, Kelly Price reminded us that success doesn't erase your struggle. You can have platinum records, still carry childhood pain. You can have fame and still lose the people you love. You can survive divorce, addiction, within your family, devastating grief, public scrutiny, and serious illness. Yet you can still choose gratitude over bitterness. The choice that separates the surviving from truly living, that is the choice. We also we spent some time discussing how to deal with toxic people. And I think those lessons are something every one of us can take in our everyday lives, not just on this platform, just in life in general. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your peace. Not everyone deserves unlimited explanations. Not everyone deserves another opportunity to drain your energy. One of the biggest mistakes we make is believing we have to attend every argument we're invited to. We don't. Every criticism doesn't require a response. Every accusation doesn't deserve your time. Every insult doesn't require a comeback. Sometimes your greatest victory is your silence. Sometimes your greatest strength is your boundaries. Sometimes your greatest act of courage is simply walking away. Remember, toxic people thrive on reactions. They want your attention because attention gives them influence. When you stop feeding their chaos, the chaos eventually has to look elsewhere. Protect your peace, protect your reputation by letting your character speak louder than their gossip. Protect your mental health by refusing to carry burdens that don't belong to you. Protect your joy because there are people praying for the happiness that we already have. And remember, growth often makes people uncomfortable. The version of you that begins setting boundaries, demanding respect, and valuing your own well being may just disappoint those who benefited from your silence. And that's okay. Your responsibility isn't to remain the same person, just to make someone else comfortable. Continue growing, continue learning, continue forgiving, but don't confuse forgiveness with giving someone unlimited access to hurt you again. Most importantly, continue showing gratitude. As Kelly Price reminded us tonight, gratitude isn't pretending life is perfect. Gratitude is recognizing that even after everything you've been through, you're still here, you're still standing, you're still breathing, you still have another opportunity to love, serve, and dream, and to become everything that your God, whoever He is, has called you to be. Take care of your mind, take care of your spirit, take care of one another. Walk in wisdom, walk in peace, and walk in purpose. And never allow any of these clowns to convince you that protecting your peace is selfish. It isn't. It's one of the greatest acts of self respect you can ever practice. God bless you all. Stay safe, stay encouraged, and I'll see you definitely on the next live. And thank you for giving me your time. Thank you for helping me to share my story. I don't, as Golden knows, normally share my personal business, but I thought this is a time I needed to speak about me. And thank you, and I love you.
So beautiful, Imani.
So
So
beautiful.
beautiful. And thank you so much for sharing. I know you're not, very much open with sharing your personal information. But this is helping us all to become closer and get a better understanding of who we are and the things that we've been through and experienced. And so lovely put. I really, really love that message. It was very heartfelt. I do have a message that I want to give as well. We're not going to hold y'all up too much longer. It's not that long. After that, you know how we do it. We're going to end it with a bop. But yeah, I just had a message for humanity, the path to a brighter tomorrow. Okay, so I want to take this moment to speak directly from my heart to yours. Let's just completely be honest with each other. Things right now feel incredibly heavy, whether you look at the world or you just scroll through YouTube. It can feel like a lot of noise, a lot of chaos, and a lot of pain. We are actively dealing with deep race issues, systemic poverty, intense division, and so many other hurdles that try to tear us apart every single day. And it becomes exhausting. It's okay to acknowledge that it's hard. Let's talk about honoring all of us. In the middle of all of the noise, we cannot afford to lose sight of who we are. We have to remember a foundational truth. We are all one. When I say we are all one, I mean all of us. So this is a call for every single human being on this planet. To the women, I see your resilience, your grace, the incredible ways you nurture, you lead, you hold our communities together. To the men, I see your strength, your capacity for deep growth, and your power to protect and build a better space for everyone. And it doesn't matter. You can be in any community. And so to the LGBTQIA plus family, I see your beautiful brilliance, your courage to live authentically, and the vital light you bring to this world. So no matter your gender, who you love, or how you identify, you belong here. You are part of a collective family. Let's talk about the journey ahead. It won't be pretty, but it's worth it. At the end of the day, our ultimate goal as human beings must be to love one another. I know it feels like it's been a long time coming. We've been fighting for unity, peace, and understanding for generations. And let's be real, moving forward, we're still going to face massive challenges. It isn't always going to look pretty. Growth is messy sometimes.
Breaking down old barriers is uncomfortable, and the road ahead will have its bumps. But here is the beautiful part. If love is your genuine goal, if that is truly what lives in your heart, you will make it to the other side. When our foundation is rooted in truth, inclusivity, and unity, no amount of outside chaos can shake our purpose. Together, we will see a brighter tomorrow. We will see a better world for generations to come behind us. But it won't just happen by wishing for it. So here's the call to action and the work ahead of us. We all have to do the work, every single one of us. So, y'all, to my beautiful people out there, to every single person watching or listening, stay strong, stay tuned, show love. When you make a mistake, take accountability, pivot, and get over it. Because we have to keep moving. Let's keep pushing, let's keep growing, and let's keep holding each other up. We love y'all so much. Thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Whether you join us in the chat or you listen from the cut, we love each and every one of you. Don't let the headlines fool you, y'all. But that's all I got. Do you have anything, Imani, before we rock it out with a bop?
No, I just want to tell you we're all too blessed to be stressed. So have a great week. If we don't see you, take care of one another, and we love you.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, y'all. Let's end it with a little boppity bop. Thank you all for your time. We will see y'all tomorrow on the next live. Everybody have a great evening, afternoon, morning, night, whatever respectful time zone you're in. Have a wonderful time within it. All right. Golden, Imani, and Mama Warrior is out. Bye.
The soul of humanity cries. A roof above, a shelter from the storm, a gentle hand to keep a spirit warm. A plate of food, a mind that's free to learn, a simple peace, a righteous wage to earn. That's right. These are the needs to better rock in the base, the sacred ground of the whole human race. But the screen is screaming, selling something cheap, while the real world babies cry themselves to sleep. Can't ignore it. We are human. Blood and bone and soul. Say it loud. With a right to be loved. The right to be loved. A right to be made whole. This is our slave. This is our sacred song. In the eyes of the creator. This is where we all belong. We are human. Worth more than they can price. Beyond the hateful whispers and the loaded gun. Yeah, they're painting pictures, twisted and unreal, teaching our children how they ought to feel. All that value's in the label on your shoes, or the filtered life you desperately choose. They magnify the hate, they celebrate the greed, and plant a poison to suffocate your weed. We gotta reach our children, pull them from the glow and show them a beauty that the media don't know. Let them know. No tech division, the mission of the television, spitting division, a mental prison. Got the youth chasing life, addicted to the feed, ignore the hunger, the fundamental need. Nigga love your vitals on the digital stage, putting the future artists in a ritual cave. Now they gotta break the cycle, gotta cut the cord. The real word is powerful, mightier than the source. We teach them about their history, teach them about their grace, teach them about the power in every single face. Let's go. We are human. Loud and bold and soul. Everyone got a right to be loved. Got the right to be loved. A right to be made whole. This is our story. This is our sacred song. In the eyes of the creator. Where we all belong. We are human. Worth more than From the suburbs to the burning, love is not a whisper, but a mighty thundering wave. A word of action, breaking leather chain. A word of power, washing out the pain. It ain't a feeling, it's a verb. It's what you do for me, for them, for us, for you. Cause they just a track, just a call to action. For every mother, father, every single fraction of the unity, holding it down on the ground. Time to get loud, make a revolutionary sound. Look a child in the eye, I tell them that they mad. I tell them their spirit's something that don't lie and shine. I for the knowledge is the weapon, love is the shield, and the truth is the harvest. We gonna grow in this field, yeah. We are human. Oh yes, we are. Teach for children. Learn power. Teach for truth. Reach where you hit the roof in a fruit. We are human. A right to live. Right to live. Reach where you hit the roof in a fruit. We are human. Sing a song on this Cradle and Gloria in excelsis. Yeah, yeah. I've been through the fire, walked through the rain, felt that pressure, felt that pain. They told me it was over, told me just give in, but they don't know the power that's living within. Yeah, I'm looking at the mountain, telling it to move. I got a different rhythm, I got a different groove. The chains are getting heavy, well, I'm getting strong. The king is on the throne, yeah, that's where I belong. Now the night is over, I see the day. All the breakthroughs coming, it's here to stay. I face the victory, come what may. It's here to stay. Something has to break. I feel it in the air. I'm casting every burden, casting every care. One night of weeping, but the morning is bright. We're walking out of darkness and into the light. Check the track record, he never failed yet. The miracle is coming, yeah, that's a safe bet. From the impossible to the it is done. The battle's already over, the victory is won. So let the strings soar, let the heavens open wide. I got the creator of the universe on my side. It's here to stay. The morning is here. Something has to break. The morning is here. Something has broken. They don't know her like I do. Nah. Golden. She moved through the city with her hair held high. pretty brown skin with a storm inside. Everybody see the glow, they don't know the pressure. Smile so warm, but her heart no weather. Late nights riding while the skyline blur. Trying not to cry when the memories occur. Had to learn fast, everybody ain't loyal. Some people love you long as they control you. Now she move careful, energy expensive. Too many fake vibes hiding in the friendship. Used to give love with her hands wide open. Now every scar got the whole vibe frozen. They don't know her like I. No, they don't know her like I. She goes by golden, soft voice, deep soul, hope or glowing. She goes by golden. City lights dancing with her heart stay open. Long dark roads, but she still stay focused. Everybody watching, but they don't really know her. Too much grace with the games they throwing. Real love, rare, so spirits they guarded. Beautiful soul, but the pain left marks in it. Mirror tell the truth when the lights go dim. All the things she carry weight heavy within. She survived nights she don't even speak on. Still finding peace, but the whole world ain't wrong. Funny how the love disappear when you're healing. Funny how the fate come around when you win. Now she trusts God more than people intend. Just 'cause smiles hot and being hidden the big. She's still soft-hearted, but she way less naive. Keep pouring love where there's nothing received. Still dancing slow through the hurt and confusion. Trying not to lose herself, chasing illusions. She survived the fire, still glowing through the storm. Still sad, still dangerous, still chosen. She goes back golden. Slow so deep made the whole room notice. Heavy lies couldn't break what was chosen. Still standing tall while the whole world folding. She goes back golden. Heartbreak turned to pentatic. Now the tears got rhythm when she's singing. And they still don't know her like that. They still don't know her like that. Spend so much time looking for love in strangers. Spend so much time. Spend so much time letting outside voices shake the mirror. But at the end of the night, when the lights fade, when the city quiet, when the tears dry, we still got